Wow. Is that the audio was off. So the audio has been off this whole time. No one's going to watch this. Oh boy. Thanks for pointing that out. I was talking this whole time, but didn't have my stupid Google Plus. Hey, what's up, Troy? So yeah, I was kind of explaining the process here, but now this is no longer worth watching. How long have I been on? Been on for almost an hour. Well, no, over an hour. Oh, wow. There we go. Does the mute, yeah, okay. So the mute doesn't, the mute on the YouTube feed doesn't unmute that, but oh man, how annoying. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah. So this video is not gonna, I might, well, we'll paint for an hour. It's too bad I just can't go back and edit it, because then I would just chop off the whole beginning when I was talking and talking. No wonder had a commenter come in and say hey and took off. And I was like, yeah, what's going on? But yeah, that was dumb. Sorry, guys. I'm just used to not having to do that. I know that in the past we'd have to do that, hop on, and when you hop on the feed, you have to unmute. This time around, they got me. So just working on this Reaper. This is a Warlord miniature. And he's like a Crusader Knight looking guy, as you can see. Painting up kind of a non-metallic metal on him. I just signed in to watch. I met Marie Claude at Gen Con. Cool. Nice. Yeah, she's really nice. She was at Anime Expo, and I talked with her a little bit. She's really cool. Just signed to watch and noticed no audio. Hope it was. Yeah, it was the whole time. That's the thing. There's like a whole hour of me talking and no audio. So that's bad. Anyway. Yeah, Marie Claude's awesome. Glad you were able to meet her at Gen Con. And I'm jealous that you went to Gen Con. So I haven't been to Gen Con in a few years now, and I wish I could make it back, because I like Gen Con. Gen Con's a lot of fun. Okay. Do you do anything fun? I had no idea Relic Knight's model was named after her. Well, yeah, it is. It is named after her. And there's, you have she actually cosplays a lot of the miniature stuff for Soda Pop. So the Takawashi University has like 2 or 3 Marie Claude models. And then obviously Relic Knights Super Dungeon Explorer has a Marie Claude. So lots of cool Marie Claude stuff. Okay, so now I'm applying this sort of line highlight, even though it's really just a dry brush. It's a very, very light dry brush. It's just going to catch lines at specific places. There we go. Have you been to True Dungeon? I highly recommend. I've known about True Dungeon, but I have not. I've never been in it. I've never gone on it. It sounds fun. I would go if I was at Gen Con with a group of friends. We could all go. I think if it's just me and my wife, we probably not end up going on something like that, because she's just not much of a gamer / role player. I don't know. I actually can't really say that. I don't know if she would do that or not. Okay, cool. Looks good. So I think I'm ready to move on here. But yeah, here we go. So you can see, starting to look a lot better now. Actually, I have a little bit of a, I don't want to soften up an edge here. See that? I just want to soften that up a little bit. I'm just going to hit that with a little bit of wash. There we go. Okay. So now let's just get in with some regular white and hit that line highlight. Let's actually get in and do it. Right. And I can actually use that white because I got to start painting the face, obviously. Okay. So this should look pretty cool. And let's get, there we go. So now I'm going to just come in and edge highlight. But I'm only going to pick specific edges to hit, again, because this is all lighting trick. I went with some random people. It's pretty cool. The puzzle versions are better for new players as gear is less important. Usually you have one veteran who has crazy gear, who can make fighting monsters way easier. Yeah, I heard a lot of cool stuff about True Dungeon. Was this your first year going to Gen Con? We'll see. Okay. But that's cool. You got to meet Marie Claude. Gen Con's way fun. Ooh. Nice. First year at Gen Con. Awesome. Well, lucky you for getting to go. I recommend for all gamers to go at least once in their life. Go experience Gen Con because it's a blast. I like to call it the good parts of Comic-Con with gaming. Whoa. That was not good. I had no idea how big Gen Con would be. It was twice as big as I thought it would have been. Yeah, I think, what is it, 70,000 people at Gen Con? And, it's most of the town too. So you got the convention center, obviously, but then out in the downtown area, you've got all kinds of activities going on too. Always fun. Yeah, can't wait for the day when I can go back to Gen Con and just game, just enjoy all the best parts of gaming and be in that cool part of that whole cool atmosphere. Now my wife she's not a gamer, but she does say that, she enjoys that She enjoys the atmosphere of big events like Gen Con. Would totally go again, but I don't think she would do too much gaming. She would just leave me to do the gaming. She would be more focused on the cosplay and all the extracurricular stuff that goes on during Gen Con. So that's cool. All right. I agree. It's a rite of passage for gamers, an epic pilgrimage. Yeah. Everyone says, I've heard plenty of people say, I got to make the pilgrimage over to Gen Con. Phil is one of those guys. He'll make it to Gen Con one. Okay. Probably not for this year though, because the big news with Phil is he's having a baby. So that's super exciting. So he's running Saugust and having a baby. So we're super happy for them, my wife and I. So we're a couple friends with Phil and his wife. All right. Yeah, there's just... Okay, cool. So I think I'm about ready to move on here. Pretty good. It's a crazy amount of stuff to do. I walked by one room and they were doing book binding or something. So much to do. You can go with nothing planned and be busy all week. And that's what we did. We had nothing planned when we went. I went back in 2012, and the only thing I wanted to do at Gen Con was try out Relic Knights. So I tried out Relic Knights. I think I've mentioned it on the show like way back then. I'd say, yeah, I finally tried out Relic Knights and I wasn't impressed. I don't think. I think I was even kind of making fun of it a little bit. It's funny now because now it's like, oh, I love this game. The demo I got back in 2012 was not a very good demo. The guy running it did not really know the game. I think he was just kind of there standing in. It's like I almost caught them on their, on a bad lunch break or whatever. Oh, that bent is annoying. It's not. Oof. That is annoying. It's not. There we go. I think I got that straight. So I got that part straight. Now I gotta get this straight. There we go. There. Okay. So I got that straight. Did they have the giant? No, the giant lug was a brand new thing. That was Marie Claude and her husband worked on that this year. So you guys were the only ones to ever see that. So kind of jealous about that too. Okay. All right. So let's work on the face. It's not a whole lot. Honestly, there's not a whole lot to do on this miniature once the steel is done. Then it's just detail painting. But let's get to it. All right. I need to find the black. I'm going to need that at some point. Where's regular old black paint? I know I got lots of it. It's not even. Black, gray. There we go. All right. I didn't know they built it. Yeah, Marie Claude, that was her idea to do. And so she worked on that for months. I mean, they were going to try to have it for Anime Expo back in July, and that plan fell through. There's just that robot was just so extensive of a build. Such big details on this model. All right. But yeah, gotta get back to Gen Con. That was so much fun when I went. And I'd probably pick up a shift or two for Ninja Division just because I really enjoy doing that kind of stuff. All right, and now, oops, a little more white. More white in the eyes. Ooh, crud. That was bad. A little too much white in the eyes. Always jealous of people who go to Gen Con. Now, Troy, have you been to Adepticon? I've never been to Adepticon, and I don't really know how those two cons compare. What most people tell me is, you go to Adepticon for tournaments, you go to Gen Con to try out new games. I don't know if that's true or not. That wouldn't surprise me too much based on the type of events that you see at Adepticon versus what you see at Gen Con. Adepticon tends to have, big tournament scene, and Adepticon seems way more about the miniature gamers than Gen Con does. Gen Con has a huge board game presence. I mean, there's a lot of miniature games at Gen Con too, but I think their board game presence is at least as big, if not bigger. That's that. Never been to Adepticon sometime, but I'm saving money for Gen Con again this year. Nice. Yeah, Gen Con's awesome. Did they have the motorcycle convention going at the same time? Because that's hilarious. The last time we went, they had like a motorcycle, like a MotoGP or something event going around the downtown area at the same time. And my wife and I were in the steampunk outfits, so we actually, with the leather and all that stuff, we fit in with both crowds, which was kind of cool. Indianapolis, perfect too. So much easy access to food and restaurants. Yeah, the downtown's pretty fun. One eye is bigger than the other one. So I'm going to trim down the larger eye. There we go. All right. So now let's paint the face in. No motorcycle convention that I noticed Friday night was flooded with teenage girls ages 13 to 18 because a New Direction concert happened. One Direction, right? Okay, I'm noticing a pattern. One Direction had their concert in San Diego during Comic-Con too. So they had their concert during Comic-Con, and then now they have a concert in Indy during Gen Con. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think maybe someone in the band is a gamer or geek or whatever, or they did it as a marketing decision. Hey, you can while the nerds are off at the Comic-Con or the Gen Con, their tweens or whatever tween that they drug with them can go to a One Direction concert. Kind of a nightmare for the city, but hey, they're probably making a ton of money by landing in those towns on those dates. I can call them New Direction if you want. That's also really funny. And pretty cool if you ask me. New Direction. Screw New Direction. All right. So I'm just running a little more wash into the shadow here. There we go. Okay. Now for flesh. Now this is male flesh. Male flesh goes by a lot faster because you don't have to do as many layers. Female flesh has, you go a lot lighter. You start off dark and you go a lot lighter. And male flesh is, the features when they're sculpted in, pretty strong and prominent. So your basic level of painting and highlighting is going to work just fine. Whereas female skin usually calls for a little bit more layering and, softer transitions. They don't have the hard features. Kind of felt bad for anyone trying to go to that One Direction show. Gen Con pretty much closed down all parts in the air. Yeah, Gen Con does shut down the whole town. Same with Comic-Con, shuts down the whole town. One of the guys there in the gaming room told me he got stuck in the traffic with One Direction at night when their concert let out, and he was trapped in a parking lot for 90 minutes, which must have been horrifying. And during Comic-Con, yeah, you can get trapped in parking for quite a while. Like you can get stuck in trying to get into or out of parking, or even into or out in that downtown area. It can take you 30, 45 minutes to go a couple of blocks if you're trying to go right in front of the convention center, which is a nightmare. All right, there we go. Now let's do, let's add, you guys know the drill, basic skin tone. And we're going to use this as a highlight. I don't think I'm going to wash this flesh, but we'll see. I can wash it if it's looking too crusty. But I'm sure it should be okay. Just gonna mix this in. And then even if regardless of whether I'm gonna do that, I'm going to paint in the non-metallic gold stuff too. Oh, I also went to the Concert Against Humanity Friday night. It was pretty awesome. Concert Against Humanity. And I know what game that's based on, but I'm trying to figure out what that entails exactly. Do they sing out the cards? What do they do? Does it dry up a little bit? All right. Looking pretty cool. He still looks so Space Marine-y to me. Space Marine. Looks like I'm going to do a wash on him. But first, I'm going to paint in some yellow ochre on all the cross areas. All the like false gold areas. There are quite a few of those. In fact, let's stick them on a base here. So we can start to work on the rest of the model. There we go. All right. And let's mix this up. Need some water. It was a combination of musical and comedy acts. Some were gamer related. It was pretty good. Cool. Sounds like fun. I would probably enjoy something like that. Okay. So yeah, the more I'm painting this guy, let me drain a little bit so you guys can see. The more I'm painting this guy, he's just looking more and more Space Marine. It's kind of bumming me out. If he looks too Space Marine, and I'm not helping by painting the chest eagle gold, and it's like somebody lost a Grey Knight model and I painted it for them. Okay, you got like these little medals and stuff. Dare I say that looks exactly like a purity seal. This right here. And you got all this detail here. I mean, he still looks cool, but he does just look so Space Marine. His shoulder pads aren't gigantic. They're not stupid big to where, you can't see over their shoulder. Hey, what's up, Tori? There you go. Yeah, he looks like a Grey Knight to me. I mean, he's kind of cool, but I'll get over it. I will get over it. Don't worry about it. I don't know that I want to do anything gold on the axe. Just kind of leave that like that. Do I want to do anything gold here? Not particularly, but I will. I'm going to do a little gold here. So I'll do all the little crucifix points as gold. Or at least whatever this non-metallic faker gold that I usually paint. What are you up to this evening, Tori? Doing any painting or anything like that? I've been taking a lot more days off painting than I normally do. It's not a consistently everyday thing. I think I'm painting 4 to 5 nights a week now. So, you know, sane people levels. Looking pretty good. What do you think? So I'm just sorry for the super quiet evening, guys. I'm just gonna paint. I kind of rambled myself to death early when there was no sound. But if you made it this far on the recording, I just want to thank you sincerely for dealing with my complete idiocy. Thank you, Troy, for pointing out that I had no sound after I had been talking for a big part of the evening. I think he needs a. I think he does need something here on the. Yeah. So let's just do that on the axe. No painting. Been off the hobby since I have this coughing that isn't going away. So the doctor, he gave me some meds. Hope you feel better, man. Sounds pretty bad. I hope it's just a flu or something. You know, nothing serious. But yeah, hope you feel better. Okay, let's give that a minute to dry. I'm gonna paint a little pouch here. And then, yeah, I think I'm gonna go, because if I go with that off-white, I think this model will look a little too washed up. So I'm gonna go with blue on the robe stuff. So I'll go with a nice rich blue on that. Okay, and I'm just gonna paint this right here. And there we go. And I'll paint this little strap brown as well. There we go. Cool. Almost ready for that sepia wash. There we go. Okay. Now we're ready to do the sepia. Oh, I'm gonna I'm going to give him brown hair while I'm at it. And kind of has a cool slicked back hair. All right. Yep. Sorry for the super quiet evening, but I'm glad you guys are here. I'm trying to decide if I want who's actually going to end up leading my Saga warband for Saugist. Is it going to be a model like this model? Because obviously that's a cool looking Crusader model. Is it going to be a model like last week's model, the Twilight Knight? Who's super fun. Or is it going to be something else, something I haven't painted yet? Is it going to be, I could just do something a little more standard and go like, hey, Mungus is actually the leader of my Saga warband, but I want to do something kind of over the top. So it's going to be this. And you still haven't received the soda pop. Yeah, I would continue to reach out to them. I know that they're scrambling through all their orders for Gen Con and all that good stuff, but I would still reach out to them. I'm gonna give myself another layer here of this glaze. Make sure it collects at the bottom there. Okay, so it's doing exactly what I need it to do. There we go. Okay. And let's hit it up with a Seraphim Sepia. Yeah. It's going to be the wash over all the skin, and it's like burnished. It's going to give me a burnished non-metallic gold look. And you don't really even want to highlight this too much. You just use it as a wash. But it just gives you, especially over little small areas like this, the detail areas, it gives you the right hue. It gives you the right shade. See, that just looks way too Space Marine. I'm sorry. For Eldorado, he doesn't look too Space Marine. He looks okay for Eldorado. Okay, there we go. And pretty good. Gonna have to apply an ink or a wash on the hair. Here's the model so far. Oh, totally forgot. I want to get the skin of his face too with this. And that's going to give him a lot of character. I might as well just hit his actual hair too. Yeah, you can see it's given him a lot of character on his face. Oh dang. Totally forgot to try to put some gold down there. Yeah, stay on him, because it sucks that you haven't gotten your replacement parts yet. I thought they had cleaned that up. I thought they were a little bit better than they used to be when Cool Mini was handling some of that stuff. Okay, so there we go. Now let's do the blue. I can do. I may end up doing a blue like that. In fact, let's do that. All right. So what color is that blue? Looks like the intermediate blue. Yeah, intermediate blue, and then highlight up from there. So we'll go with intermediate blue. And we'll start to highlight it up. Now he's starting to look even more GW40K. Let me know if you think this guy should be my Saga Warlord or not. Curious to know what you think there. Because I don't know, I'm not sold. He's fun. He's fun looking, but I'm just not sold. Is he the model? I don't know. Okay. This guy is seriously just about done. We're going to highlight that with a lighter blue. I'm going to use this blue to highlight that, but I'm going to let it dry first. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some of this brown down here on the base of the model. And then I'll make him look a little more like he's standing on a rock. Okay. So now when I go quiet, you guys are probably wondering if my sound cut out, but it did not. All right, not sure about Saga, so I can't say. So Saga is using like more historical looking stuff, and most of my army, my warband, is historical grade miniatures. But I'm trying to figure out, like, I want something, for me personally, I want something over the top leading it. So this big chunky dude may fit the bill here. He's kind of cool looking, but I wanted to get an opinion or two for some other people before I just say, okay, it's him, or it's Twilight Knight, or it's whoever else, like an Anima Tactics mini or something. When I put another highlight on the skin, just to kind of give him some more character. There we go. Okay, now let's apply a little yellow ochre as a highlight over that burnished gold. Just so things pop. Yeah, I feel like I just painted something GW because of how chunky this model is, and the features of the model seems very GW-esque. I don't mean that in an accusatory thing. GW does make some cool looking stuff. I'm just tired of the aesthetic. I've been looking at that aesthetic for years and years since I started gaming. All right. So just a final little highlight on him, then I'll finish tying up the base, and then he's good. That final highlight is going to be a little bit of this blue on the cloak. So because this blue's so dark, I don't want to over highlight. I don't want to over highlight the cloak either, so I'm going to have to go really, really thin on this, on the brushwork here, right? Yeah, it's nice like this. If I had a co-host or somebody, I could just ramble, bring up topics, and let me and you, the viewers, chime in as to our various perspectives on stuff like that. I think that would be cool. Oh man, just going a little too dark with some of these highlights. So I'm just going to soften them up. You can soften up a highlight that you just applied with a little bit of water on your brush, and you can knock it down and move it out if you want. It's good to hit those as soon as you notice them, though, when you're painting. There's a school of thought that says let it dry, because you may ruin it worse than you would the dry coating. So let it dry. And I've never been in that camp, sadly. I should be. But yeah. All right, here we go. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Let's do a little tuft of grass. Paint the thing black and we'll call it a night. A tuft of grass. Ooh, it's too green. This is about right. This stuff. Now I should point out this model isn't actually done because I still have to put an insignia on the shield, and I haven't really decided exactly what I'm going to do there. I have good ideas of what I want to do to the shield there yet, so that's too big. A smaller tuft. This one looks pretty good. It just gives the model a little bit of interest there on the bottom and helps cover up any issues I might have had with the base. Anyway, there's that. Let's paint the black rim, call it a night. It's not quite done, but like I said, we have to do the shield design on him. I'm just not there yet. Okay, so there we go. I mean, he's not done, but that's the gist of the painting. Later, Octave, I'm going to try to sleep. Good night, man. Yeah, so here we go. Pretty cool. Nice, fun, fast little model there. And we did him start to finish on the feed, which was cool, considering we started a little bit late, but we did go the whole, 2 hours, whatever. So let's do that. Yeah, I got to decide. Do I want to... Is that guy going to be leading my Saga Warband? Or am I going to do something else? I still have a few models up my sleeve to try out. And obviously, I still have to paint the rest of this. So here we go. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I might be deleting this video after post. Being down for an hour sucks. All right. So anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Unless you guys have any more, thank you guys for watching. Here we go. Come on. Focus. Yeah. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.